The last time I showed you a science demonstration, it was when we made a working model of a maple seed and took a look at how the maple seed uses the idea of air pressure to slowly fall to the ground rather than quickly fall to the ground, with the hope that the wind will come and make it flow along to somewhere else. But that's not really flight, is it? Flight has to involve, well, not just falling slowly, but actually staying up in the air. So, what is it that stops things from staying up in the air in the first place? Well, as I'm sure you guessed, it is gravity, and everybody, I think, on this planet has experienced gravity in some way or another. Whether it's because that you've jumped off a play structure and fallen on the ground, or that you've walked in any direction and not just zoomed off into outer space. You've all experienced gravity whether you know it or not. It's that force that pulls us down towards the Earth. Of course, we have a little bit of gravity too, and so technically we are pulling the Earth slightly towards us as well, but the difference in terms of our gravity versus the Earth's gravity is so big that we basically assume we hardly have any effect on the planet at all. Anyways, so gravity is what's pulling things down towards the Earth. How do we overcome gravity? Well, the word we're looking for is lift. Lift. That's the force that makes things resist gravity. How can we see lift in action? I'm going to show you with a really simple experiment. I've got a piece of paper over here. It's just a strip that I've torn off from a regular 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow over top of it, and we'll see what happens. Turn my head this way. I'm going to put the piece of paper near my mouth, and I'm just going to blow over top of the piece of paper. What do you think is going to happen? Okay, now that you've made your prediction, I'm going to see if your prediction was correct. Ready, set. I'll do it again. There's no magic here, no special tricks. All I've done is taken a piece of paper and blown over top of it. And as you saw, when I blew over top of the paper went up. Well, why? Any guesses? Shout them at the screen now. I won't be able to hear you, but I'm sure it's a good guess. Go ahead. Okay, well, I'll tell you why. When I was blowing over top of the paper, the air was moving away in this direction. And because the air is moving away, that means that the air pressure is lower. Lower. On the bottom, there's no air moving, and so that air pressure is the same as before. So, when you have a lower air pressure over here, and then a higher air pressure at the bottom, the air is going to press the piece of paper to make it go up. And that's the basic principle of flight, in a nutshell. So, now that I've done that, I want you to go and do the same thing. I'm going to ask you to take a piece of paper and try different lengths of paper, try different thicknesses of paper, and see what happens. And I'm going to ask you to write your reflections in a separate post on Google Classroom, so take a look for that. Enjoy your experimentation, and I'm interested to find out what happens with your pieces of paper.